You're a nurse. You show up for shifts that break you. You hold patients' lives in your hands, and somewhere in the back of your mind, there's a quiet question you never quite get to. Am I actually getting paid what I'm worth? You don't know what the nurse next to you makes. You've never negotiated a raise because you assume they'll say it's just not in the budget. Or you don't know how to demonstrate your own value. The years are blurring together, all those moments, the memories, the good, the bad, all that growth. And there's no record of it anywhere except the exhaustion. And underneath all of it, debt. That feels like it will never go away, so why even look at it? If any one of those just hit, stay with me because Jemma was built exactly for this. I'm Tom Polifka, the founder of Jemma and husband of a nurse for over 18 years. I met my wife at a party hosted by nurses. Some of my closest friends are nurses, and my wife has been a nurse for over 25 years. During her nursing career, she's done travel assignments, agency, PRN, and has been on staff for hospitals from the East Coast to the West Coast. She's worked night shift, day shift, 12s, 24s, and probably many more I'm just not remembering. While I'm not a nurse myself, I feel like I'm in a unique position to advocate for nurses like my wife and you. The point is, we understand nurses, which is why we built Jemma. What is Jemma? Well, at its core, it's 100% anonymous nurse salary submissions. Everything is built on that foundation. I wanted to build something where nurses were able to see what other nurses are making, not only reported from job sites, but actual nurses submitting what they're getting paid based off of their years of experience, their certifications, the metropolitan area that they're working in. All of these things go into how much nurses can make. And I wanted to provide that service, but I also wanted to celebrate nursing careers. I noticed my wife's career over the last 20 years of being with her, that there was moments that she should have celebrated or documented, and she just didn't. She didn't have an easy way to do that. So I wanted to create something that would allow nurses just like yourself to capture those moments, whether it was the travel assignments and the nerves that you had about starting your first position, or maybe it was a tough moment with a certain coworker or situation at work that you wanted to document and have the emotion that later on you could look back and see this amazing career. So we built career chapters, and that allows you to do that. Now I know what you're thinking. It's great that we can look at what other nurses are making, but how do we know that our information is anonymous and our managers, our coworkers won't know what we're making or submitting on the platform? Valid concern. This is exactly why I spent a lot of time building ways to keep your information anonymous and secure. So when you submit your payroll information, there's going to be ways that we can anonymize and keep you separate from your actual payroll. So we're never going to submit your name or your contact information with your pay stub information. So that's number one. That's clear, that's easy. Basically, it's going to show up as a number. A nurse with this specialty in this area is making $50 per hour. The other thing we're going to do is allow you to select based off of the metropolitan area. So there's going to be a few different ways that you can select depending on how big of an area that you work in. If it's a major metropolitan area like Los Angeles, there's going to be obviously a lot of nurses working in that area, so it's not going to be as hard or as easy to pin down somebody who works in a very small town in a smaller state. So there's going to be some ways that you can select based off of your area, whether you want to be listed only as in that state of California or the metropolitan area of Los Angeles, or even more further defined in the actual city. It's up to you. You get to choose that. Wanted to make sure that you felt comfortable submitting your information. We're going to rely on you to provide valid information for pay. Now, one of the ways that we also verify, making sure that everyone's a nurse that's actually submitting these, is we're going to be collecting your nurse license number in state. And we'll be actually validating those against the state board that it's registered to. This allows us to make sure that you're a nurse, that nurses only are submitting this information, and it's legit. Another question you might be asking is, how does Jemma make money? And a lot of these platforms that offer free access to things like a database or to products and services with no cost is because they're going to be advertising to you. So there's advertising, but there's also maybe they're selling your information to recruiters or to headhunters. And I didn't want to have that happen on Jemma. So what I decided is that all of the verified Salary Explorer, all of the free tools will be available for free. And we're going to basically make money by selling subscriptions for these other services like career chapters and some of these AI-enabled services that allow you to negotiate better. And that's going to allow us to basically afford to keep the website going, afford us to market and grow. But at the same time, it's not going to be selling your information, and it's not going to be something where you feel like you are going to be constantly worried about your information being shared with people you don't want to. One of the other things I wanted to make sure we did is give back to the nursing community. As a small company, we're able to do things that larger venture-backed companies just aren't able to do, and that's focus on the people, the nurses, that are growing the platform, not investors, shareholders, board members, or people like that. One of the main ways, and I hope is the most powerful way, is the referral program. Now, nurses are able to join Jemma. They'll get a referral code that allows you to share with other nurses the Jemma platform, and if they want to join, they can have a free account. They can submit their anonymous pay information to help grow the platform, to help pay it forward. But if they purchase the paid subscriptions, remember, the way that we make money is not through advertising or through selling your information to recruiters. It's actually through offering more value in the form of paid subscriptions for things like career chapters, the negotiation toolkit. But if you refer a nurse that joins a paid subscription, not only do you give them a discount off their first year, but you get a commission for doing that. And you get a commission every year if they renew. So for a lot of nurses, this can mean referring a handful of friends and having their subscription paid for, or it could be even more by having a lot more referrals and getting paid bonuses that are quite substantial. So the way we're able to do that is by having paid accounts and free accounts. Every time somebody joins with your referral code, you get credit for that person. But when they become a paid member, that's when you get the commission. So that's Jemma. We're just getting started, and I hope you join us on this ride and share with other nurses and really make this not only something that's useful, but memorable and something you're able to feel proud of and celebrate your career as a nurse, because it really is truly special what you have done, and maybe as a student, what you're about to become and do for the next 20, 30 years. So until next time, feel free to hit that feedback button on the right-hand side of the website. I'm the one that reads those. So whether it's something that you wish we had on the platform or something that's just not working right, or maybe you have feedback that is different, just let me know. I would love to hear back from you. And until next time, thanks again for watching.